turn it on.
It's on.
I said turn it on.
That's the hardest part. Pressing record. And we're recording. And it's good.
Yay!
Hello, Miss Brandy. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm good. This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. I am Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment, your premier DJ, with the beautiful and wonderful Brandy Harlan, your non-retired wedding planner, which we have a meeting this week.
We do.
Do you remember?
I do remember. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Cool. I have it on my calendar.
Of course I remember. We are meeting this week.
We got some collabs coming up, possibly, hopefully.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This non-retired on the screen here is going to say, welcome back.
Welcome
Wedding
back,
planner.
Cotter. Show. I just dated myself.
Yeah.
I did.
But yeah, so we've got we are like not gearing up. We are in wedding season.
Yeah, we're
like
at the starting line.
We are at the
light
starting
is
line.
green.
This is like if we're talking like week 1, this is like week 2.
Yeah, right. And some of us are behind already.
Yes, right. Yeah. I mean, and this is something that we're going to talk about today is just like gearing up for wedding season for a lot of like wedding professionals in this industry. And I know in the off season for me personally, I kind of obviously like for us, it's like off season is like what, like 2 months?
Yeah.
It's like July and August.
Yeah.
And in July and August, we still have like scattered events here and there. So me personally, during those 2 months, I like to schedule time for myself and like vacations, as I'm sure most of us do.
Yeah.
But I also do like a recap of, the equipment that I have, and okay, do I need to start upgrading some of my equipment, or just that sort of thing.
Yeah, like going through and making sure, like, okay, all the parts, everything's there, everything's good. Like, what needs to be refreshed, and batteries and lights.
Yeah, look at the new trends.
Yeah,
of what's happening in your particular field. So that's we can do a little more deep dive, but but now that we're in wedding season, it's too late to do any of that.
Yeah. So what you should have done, so what I used to do in the off season was, because for instance, at Mixon's, there was a slew of just decor, leftover things, and I would completely take like a whole entire week, because they would close for a week. I would not close for that week. I was in the kitchen scrubbing, cleaning, organizing, rearranging, and also doing that with the team, because we all need to function in that space. So if you're a venue, like, all right, does this serve us going into season? And you could still probably fit that in maybe on a quick weekend before season. I mean, we're in it, but you might be able to fit that in on a Sunday or Monday. But ask your team, like, does this space serve you? Do you feel comfortable in this space? What can make it better? What can we refresh? Is there something somebody said that, we should look at fixing or cleaning up or changing or maybe upgrading? So you can kind of do that now, but you should have done that a few months ago.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, I always say like wedding day is the Super Bowl for each couple. And it's the Super Bowl, and we are in the first week. Can you believe it? First week of October.
That's crazy.
It's insane. We are in the first official week of October. And like I said, we had some scattered events, in July, August, and September. And September is kind of like, let's just say, the preseason.
Yes.
Of wedding season. It's the preseason. So
for Florida.
For Florida. Yeah. It's completely different anywhere, like in the Northeast, where Carlos is, in the DMV region, which is Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia. They are in the heat. It's like they're towards the end of their wedding season.
I know. Doesn't that sound amazing?
Yeah. And so we just finished preseason.
Yeah.
And, again, I'll just look at my calendar for September. We had a total of, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had seven weddings here in Florida, not including the DMV region. We had, and DMV, we're still brand new.
Yeah.
So we just had a couple of weddings and events.
And you had a quince.
Right. So I'm just, in
general.
Events in general, right. So we had 7 8, 9, 10. So we had 10 events and weddings this past month in September. That does not include like the bar gigs and everything, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here in Florida. Now the first few weeks in September were pretty light. And then the last 2 weeks in September, 2 weeks ago we had 4 weddings and events, and then this past weekend, which is the last week of September, we had 4 weddings and events as well. So now we are in October, and this is like October is really when wedding season kicks off. So let's just say like I don't know if like this past weekend was week 1 or this upcoming season or this upcoming week is week 1. I don't know, but
it was like half and half because you were going. We'll count it as preseason because the first was yesterday,
and yeah,
so.
It's
This coming weekend is like the first jump off.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17 events and weddings. That's just
October?
That's October. So that's just for like luckily there's only one Sunday event, but that's Friday, Saturday.
Are there that many? Wait, hold on. That math ain't mathin', as my kids would say. But you've got multiple DJs, so
yes.
I guess that math is still crazy, though.
Yeah.
It's still not mathin'.
Yep. So
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you do as a DJ or entertainment company for season?
Like gearing up for season?
Yeah.
Well, and like I had said, I like to kind of take a look back at the previous year and just kind of see like what worked well, what didn't work well, what new trends are happening that I can like incorporate into, the company, some that the DJs can utilize, that I can utilize, that would benefit our couples and our clients. So.
And that's including like marketing, branding, and all of that too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously very big in marketing. That's my daily grind. I do marketing for a local
that's why we
media
get along
company.
So well.
Yeah. So just had some headshots done and like a little photo shoot with Jonathan Pajak with Lens Culture Photography. Right? No, Lens Culture.
Lens Culture Photo and Film.
Photo and Film. That's what it is.
I mean, I took some great.
You did.
Actually, shots.
You had. I showed that to Jonathan, and I gave him. I was like, "This is inspiration."
Yay!
Of my own photos. So great job.
Just gonna start a photography business. So.
Yep.
That's expensive.
Right. Yeah.
No.
So like new marketing. Because again, DJs come and go. Which is that's great.
Because they branch out on their own, or they move, or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So so we did some new headshots. I'll be updating the website. Pricing, information package. All that stuff. And then again, looking at trends going on social media. What's trending on TikTok and Instagram, and seeing what's going on there. And of course, I'm a part of a lot of DJ groups like on social media as well, and I have a lot of DJ friends. Seeing what they're doing, what they're seeing. So. I actually just invested into a brand new photo booth, which I'm really excited about. So we're going to, continue to build our photo booth side because that's always nice. Like couples love it.
Yeah.
They love the photo booth, and our photo booth now is great. It has great photos. We have a DSLR camera that we utilize. But we understand that digital is key, and using your phone and being able to airdrop.
Technology, it's always changing.
Yeah, being able to airdrop the photos to.
That is awesome. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
So we just invested in a
don't
new.
Don't airdrop it to the wrong person.
Well,
it depends on the photo you're taking.
That's true. So we just invested into a new photo booth. We've got some new lighting fixtures for my own system, and I like to share that with my DJs as well and be like, hey, here are some things that are trending. This is something that I just invested in to clean up the look, make it more modernized as far as our setups are concerned. Last year I invested in a brand new like DJ table or like DJ furniture type thing. So it really just cleans up everything. And so I busted out some of the new lights this past weekend at Mixon's, your old stomping ground, which was fun. It was a really cool look. And, the lights, just like they all interconnect with each other, is really cool. It was a lot of fun to kind of like take those out and just mess with them and
Play with them,
be in like a real setting. The couple didn't pay for it, but
you got to play.
I got to play with them. And
I can only imagine that I don't know if you do this. Do you set them up in your house and people drive by and like all these
I'm sure.
lights
Yeah,
and
I'm
stuff
sure
are
the inside of my
going
house
on?
is just like beaming different colors and like, what is going on? There's a
He's
rave
testing
going
his
on in there.
lights. Rave at the corner.
That's right. At the Shouse house.
Why,
Rave at the Shouse house. In case you
why
guys
weren't
didn't
we
know,
invited?
in case you see, I mean, I know I say it every time, but that my last name is Shouse, not Schlack or Shaylock or Schalk. It's Shouse, rhymes with house.
Shouse.
He's a brick.
Shouse.
Hey, let's go. You just figured out how to say my last name.
And I still spell it wrong every time. I want to put the L in the wrong spot.
How do you spell it?
SCHALCH.
Hey,
Because I'm like, the L doesn't go where you
Nope.
want it to.
Nope.
Yeah. So it's like the AL is just like a OU almost.
I shall see you. Shouts.
I shouse.
Shoush. No, shouts.
Shouse.
There you go.
See? The
Anyway.
H doesn't matter either.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't look like it's spelled whatsoever. Well, I mean, that's I like that you're always updating and doing things like that. I see that every year, every season, you're doing things like that, and so that looks different for every professional. And I think altogether, like for the season, definitely updating pricing should be something that you're looking at in the off season. You don't want to be updating pricing in the middle of season. It's a lot of time consuming work, and it kind of maybe gives false evidence, right? Like false. So if you do it in the off season and you do it every year in the off season, and then you have a whole season to actually give you the data and information that you need to say, okay, did that work? Did it not work? What's good? What's not good? Because you're changing it in the middle of season. You've really only had like maybe 4 or 5 months to test it out, where instead of having a whole 9 months of season to do that. Yeah. So it's important that you look at your marketing during that.
Well, and utilizing our like CMS system, our content management system, and being able to see, like you said, what's working, what's not working, if things are priced too high. Or if things just aren't, selling, like the photo booth has always been a great like supplemental part of like complementary part of our entertainment side. Yeah. It hasn't always been like there's at times, we'll get leads for just the photo booth, which is fine. But it's usually like it's a complementary option to the entertainment side.
Yeah. And that's when you got to think like, okay, if this is not working, how do we package it differently? Right. And how do we add in more to the package that you already have? So if you have something on your roster of things that you offer and there's just that one lonely thing, put it in with something else and grow the package price a little bit more and be able to say, okay, it also includes this. And then you can get a little bit more people to expose to it, and then they start to have like engagement session photos for photographers. Like maybe you don't book that many of them. Maybe add that in with your booking and then make it a package. And then people are like, oh, I really, I never thought I needed an engagement photo package, but I'm so glad it was a part of, and I really enjoyed it. And so I've been able to use these photos for X, Y, and Z. So it's just how you really kind of package the marketing around what it is that you're doing. Yeah. Like setup fees, that kind of stuff. Just put those things in there and just say, this is the complete package. So for instance, at the Retreat Sarasota, our biggest package is only $12,500. But that includes $12,500. But that includes accommodations for like 28 to 35 if they share 2 people per bed or whatever. It includes a day and a half of venue use, full property. So you could start the day before the wedding and have a rehearsal dinner and rehearsal, and then have the whole wedding day and then leave after the wedding. Or you can start the day of the wedding and stay the night of the wedding and have brunch the following day. So it doesn't really matter how you combination it. It's same thing, right? And there's like 7 or 8 different outdoor locations to choose from in your ceremony package. So you just pick one because it's already included. And then we have the one indoor space, but you can obviously do an outdoor space too. Yeah. And if you don't use the indoor space, we'll pay for the tables and chairs because you're not using the indoor AC, things of that nature. We can kind of fold that over into something else. So it's all in just how you package it. And people are like, wait, it's only $12,500? Yeah, that's it. Introductory pricing, y'all. So get a hold of it now.
Get on it.
Get on it. But hotels alone, if people are coming in from out of town in season, are running, I think I've got a hotel booked for a wedding in the end of October. It's like $350. I'm like, holy goodness.
A night?
For one night. Maybe 280, I think.
Still.
Maybe 280, but still
That's
for
high.
one night. So think about 28 people paying $100 or $150 for one night to stay, which is what they expect if they're coming from out of town. That offsets your cost by a minimum of $2,800 in our case. So that's what I kind of did over the summer too. I mean, I haven't been there since April, but I looked at like what we could package and what that looks like and how we can, do more. And so I started running ads in August just so that we can get geared up for season.
Yeah.
So start your marketing campaign, like figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Set those marketing dollars aside. And I know as vendors, it's hard because our season is October to May. So that's where all of our money comes in, right? And then we're like, shoot, I got to pay for marketing in the off season.
Yeah.
Budget for that, like plan for that, because that's when you should be hitting the marketing hard is those months. You're doing your own like green or ground roots marketing by posting while you're doing events throughout the season, but it's in that off season when you're just out of content that you need to be paying for ads and things. So definitely look at your marketing too.
Yeah. That's another thing. We've done a lot of videos. I have a lot of videos being produced right now, and just want to have a fresh look every year. Just like you're getting ready for school, you want to have that fresh outfit.
Yes,
for the first day of school.
Yes, from top to bottom, shoes to match.
That's right.
As far as like catering goes, I think that definitely looking at trends and looking at what didn't sell, what didn't work, how you can be more on point, because I feel like couples are looking for more of a fresh take as well as they're also looking to save money. So if you can package something together and it gives the, comfortability that, okay, this includes that when you're doing catering, that is a very helpful thing. But then looking at your staffing, like, okay, do we need to wear something different? Everybody's got the right shirts, the right things to wear. What does our marketing look like? Have we hit the corporate world market? Because I feel like in our event industry, we definitely focus on those milestone events, but maybe we don't hit corporate enough. So maybe that's an area where you're like, you know what? I want to book this many corporate events this season, holiday parties, things of that nature. New Year.
Holiday parties is
right.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen in the summer. So that's something you should have been marketing in the summer.
Well,
for the holiday.
We can market that as much as we want, but again, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make him drink it. Yeah. So all these corporate people, they start booking. Now, I will say I do have quite a few holiday events booked right now.
Yeah.
But come the next 4 weeks.
That's when they get crazy.
They've been
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they want to get it done because they also have, think about it this way. They have end of year stuff typically to do. Mm-hmm. They have people that are taking vacations, bosses that are out of town, CEOs, all those decision makers. So they need to get those decisions made now before all of that starts to happen, because then they know we're going to run out of time. Like, it's going to cost us way more, and it will. So don't wait till the last minute, because it's going to be like, oh, well, hold on. Like, you're trying to book all this last minute, then that's going to be a little bit more, because staffing may be short. All your people may be already doing something, so you have to find a fill-in or whatever that looks like. So definitely looking at the corporate world, if you're in catering or whatnot, like figure out what niche you want to hit in the off season so that you're ready for it this season.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, vacation time is very important. So I would also suggest that during season, you carve out little bits of time to regroup.
Yes.
Like
Therefore,
every
you
quarter.
do not,
yep. Compassion fatigue is a real thing. Yeah. You don't want to be burnt out come December when you've got 5 more months to go.
Right. We basically just started.
You just got going.
Yeah.
Like you just got through the first quarter.
I literally, I do mark my calendar and I will put in red.
Yep. Tim not available.
Is not available.
And that's also a good reminder for yourself, because you'll put it on the calendar.
Oh, I know.
And you're dedicated to it. So that's what I would suggest vendors do.
Usually I don't book anything on my birthday, but since my birthday was on a Sunday this year, I was like, screw it. And I had a couple book.
Yeah.
But I charge more because it's my birthday.
My birthday, right? I remember I did a wedding on my 40th birthday. Like I remember I had my party on that Wednesday before.
Yeah.
On the 10th, and then I had a wedding that Saturday on my birthday. I forget who they were. I should probably remember who that was. Like, you all celebrated my 40th with me.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, carve out that time and have your staff carve out time too, because you're as good as your team is as well. So make sure they're carving out that self-care and maybe create some of those moments together as a team to do some self-care things.
Yeah.
Yeah, spend some time, do a brunch, hit the beach, that kind of thing, just to recharge, especially when you have like a lot of, say October has a lot of heavier weddings, right? Like it's 200 people, it's just heavier load than you normally would have, or they're back to back, or your team is doing multiples in a day. Like for wedding planners, if you've got, you know, your team doing 4 weddings, you know, within 2 weekends, and they're both really, really big, schedule some time during the week to just breathe and really kind of work that through, and so that your team's not burnt out as well, because then you lose them and it's hard to find people that are good at doing wedding planning and event planning.
True.
Typically. So most can't handle the 16, 15, 14-hour days, whatever that might be, and it's a lot of caring for people that just probably are having it's their wedding day, so they may not be the nicest. There's a lot of stress on that. It's a big load to carry. So let's carve out time for your team too.
Carve out time for yourself. Yes, carve out time for yourself and your team.
Yeah.
I was at a wedding this past weekend at Mixon's Cheyenne.
Yeah.
The wood flowers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure I had that right. She was setting up, I believe, with her husband.
Yeah. They're engaged.
They're engaged. They haven't got married yet?
Well, it was during COVID. It got pushed back a few times. And then now that they're getting married in Amsterdam. So everything had to open back up and everything. So I think they're getting married this upcoming year.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
I forget what month, but yeah.
Shout out. But
yeah. And she has a team. So
Well, she and I'm assuming her soon-to-be husband or counterpart, or whoever the gentleman was.
Like he has a really big smile.
I have no idea. They weren't smiling that day.
I mean, it's in the middle of a wedding. He's not short, but they're about the same height.
Maybe.
Yeah. Brown short hair.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
he always has a big smile on his face.
we just happened to be talking, and like I'm coming in. She was getting her florals, because again she does wooden florals, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in to set up. And she's like, "How was your time off?" I was like, "When did we have time off?" She's like, "I know. I literally was just like so excited for summer, and then all of a sudden, fall's here. Like we didn't get to celebrate summer and like our time off." Yeah. So definitely take time for that. I know for me, you know, I like take random trips here and there, and even during wedding season. Like I'm planning an impromptu one. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do it, because I personally don't have any weddings. It's coming up in like 2 or 3 weeks in October.
Nice.
I'm going to head up to New York for the Philadelphia Eagles and Jets game. Of course, and then travel and check out New York, because I've only passed through there when I was playing baseball.
Oh.
So I've never actually done a deep dive.
I love New York. That's where I was for my 40th birthday trip.
So
it was, I will be completely transparent. New York is a place where I've always had like a huge heart for, and had never been. And so as we're landing, I'm in tears. Like it was so overwhelming. Like tears of joy. Like I finally am here. Just seeing like the Statue of Liberty and all the like the city skyline, and you know all the big buildings. And I'm literally by the window, thank God, because I'm like just bawling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I finally have made it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hit everything. We stayed in Harlem. I hit Brooklyn by accident on the train. I hit Little Italy downtown, the Met, the windows at Macy's. Grand Central Station. Like we went on a tour, a speakeasy tour.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, and that was just over like a course of like 3 or 4 days. So definitely carve out some of that, people, if you have it.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, this is just examples of wedding professionals that I've talked to. Alyssa Sue Photography.
Oh, yeah.
Alyssa Sue, saw her. And I'm going to do actually a couple shout outs. Before I get to Alyssa Sue, a shout out to Swanky Soiree.
Oh, yeah.
For their 10-year anniversary. They just had their 10-year anniversary party a couple weeks ago. And yeah, they've been killing the planning industry, and now they're doing decor and rentals.
Yeah.
So Christina,
great people to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, Christina and her team, Stephanie.
Like her husband shows up.
Oh
like
my, yeah, her husband.
It's a whole family.
Her husband is the one like putting up all the drapery, and his swanky ninjas is what they call them. The swanky ninjas. They are awesome.
And he's a Hurricane fan. Just saying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just saying.
But Yeah, so shout out to Swanky Soiree, wedding and event planners for their 10-year anniversary. They threw like a little get together for wedding professionals in the industry.
Oh, that's fun.
And then I saw Alyssa Sue there with her husband, Wayne, and I guess it was her birthday was coming up, and she's like, "Yep, I am not doing any events. I'm not shooting any because she does photography. She's not doing anything. She's taking the whole weekend for herself."
Yes.
And then after that, I think is when wedding season was, because I think that was just like last week or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, take time for yourself.
Yeah, and your team, and make them like. Work just asked us on Friday. We had a staff meeting. Like, so take your vacation time, people. Like, schedule it, and then they make us take comp time. So I worked this past Saturday and did tours, so I'll have to take some time off in the next week or so. Like,
darn.
Let me see, half a day on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, create that environment that which you would want to work in as well for your team. I think that's really great. So those are some of my tips. What else? What other vendors are, definitely, I think trends, like, and practicing, right? Because I see Jamal
as far as getting ready for season?
As far as getting ready for season. I see Jamal all the time from Jam All Day. He is always on Facebook creating new mixes. Like, he's like, okay, I'm trying out a new mix, always doing something. So it's like, if you don't practice what you're going to preach, it's only going to be as good as you did last season. Yep. So that's why you being at Molly's and, being at Molly's and doing your mixing and stuff like that, that just keeps it at, up at your fingertips.
Well, yeah,
and just creating new fun things.
Yeah, for DJs. I mean, it's just a different atmosphere, and it gives me more freedom to just literally play whatever the heck I want. But also I get to like check out like new music and see what's working.
Yeah.
Like as far as, music choices, what's working, what songs are kind of fading out.
Yeah.
What songs are popping right now, and really, people are really enjoying. Taylor Swift is popping off right now just because of Taylor Swift and the whole Travis Kelce deal.
Craziness.
It's insane. Football.
Does she realize? Like, I mean, I have to wonder. Does she realize what she has done for him? Like
what she's done for football? Not. I mean,
right?
yes,
like, as a whole. Like,
right.
Can you imagine just being able to like? I'm going to a football game, and now you've taken football to like the nth degree.
So let me tell you something. I don't know if you. I'm obviously a big football fan.
Yeah.
I happened the game Sunday Night Football. It was the Chiefs and the Jets.
Yes.
In New York.
Yes.
They literally the intro
I saw
to the game was based. It was The Voice, and it was based around Taylor Swift.
And they had the heart.
It was based around Taylor Swift. The NFL has literally said, I see an opportunity to get all of the Swifties to hop on board the NFL train.
Right.
And they're doing it. And
if you call them, they will answer.
Right. And the other crazy thing was that I saw, this is all marketing, by the way.
This is definitely marketing.
All marketing.
So hopefully this helps
you
guys. I think
it was right. Like, I think at one commercial break or it was going into halftime or something happened where they had a shot of the Chiefs had just scored, and then you see Taylor Swift on screen like clapping, going crazy, and then they go to a commercial break. Guess what the first commercial break was? Taylor Swift on her Eras tour coming into theaters.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
Do you not see a huge marketing ploy here?
Okay, wait. Do you think they're doing it for the coverage, or do you think they're doing it for the actuality?
You mean Taylor and
No,
I feel that that's legit.
Did they
however
anticipate
I'm sure they did. They're like, all right, listen, when Taylor Swift comes to the first game, people are gonna lose their minds. And people lost their freaking minds. And the NFL has lost their mind, and they're like, all right, new marketing opportunities. We're going to be marketing to all these different people, and which is great.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I don't know how the hell we got on this topic, because this has nothing to do with weddings. But
marketing. How did we get there? I don't even know. Y'all tell us how we just got there.
Jeez, I'll have to listen back on that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, dude, your bug is over here now.
I know.
He's
stupid
making his
gnat.
We were talking about practicing.
Pop. The songs that are popping right
that
now.
Are working. Yes.
So yeah, so
Thank
Taylor
you.
Swift. Thank you. We got back to it. So yeah, Taylor Swift is popping right now.
Yeah.
I mean, not that she wasn't before, but even more so now.
Yeah.
So like, I've gotten a ton of requests while at like Molly's, or actually these past couple of weeks that I've had weddings, Taylor Swift has been on there.
Have you created any new mixes with her things or stuff? Like, have you thought about creating just a fire Taylor Swift and like mix?
I mean, I have before, but it was just like a Taylor
You
mix.
might want to like brush like.
Yeah, but no,
like,
I've.
Is there a Chiefs song that you can add in?
Oh no, I'm not
like,
doing that. No, only for
I
my
mean,
Eagles.
Come
only for
on,
the Eagles.
Come on.
No, only for the Eagles.
It would hit.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure people all over. I mean, there's so many content creators now. Like, people are.
You know how much coverage you would get if you did like something like that and put it on TikTok? That would be hecka marketing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Even if it is for the Chiefs, it's really for marketing. It's really for you at the end of the day. But yeah, catching up and practicing, and when I used to come off season and go into season, that first few weddings, I was so tired.
I was so nervous.
Nervous, tired. So check out your shoe game, because whatever you're wearing last season probably isn't going to sustain you this season.
Nope.
You wore the heck out of those shoes.
Remember, it's day one of school.
Yeah, so you need
a new fit.
You got to fit some new shoes in.
Those brand new shoes. You got to have some clean, fresh.
Yes. Get something comfortable during setup times and then switch to something else. But, I remember my feet hurting so bad after that first couple of weeks. And then you're like, okay, I'm good. But you still need something comfortable, and just utilize that.
Real quick for my DJs. If you guys are wearing your slacks and everything while you set up,
doing it all wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
No, wear athleisure, but
any vendor. Let's just say any vendor. Because for planners, I was never. I was in yoga pants, tank top, whatever it was, in the mornings, getting ready, and then change.
Yeah, myself personally, and I've given my team some, I call it TLS swag.
Yeah.
So I've got my TLS dry fits, and I just tell them wear some like black shorts because they're black shirts, just like kind of wear like all black.
Yeah.
And athleisure.
Yep.
Wear all black athleisure. Make sure you have comfy shoes on. Bring your clothes with you.
Yep.
Or get there super early. This is what I love doing.
Yeah.
I love, like, this past weekend at Mixon's.
I know, you were there like a noon.
I got there at 11:30.
Nice.
Wedding was at 5. It took me, I would say, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to set up, do sound check, do all the things. And again, I brought new lights. That's really what took me the longest, was my new up lights, my new Freedom sticks that, they're like tube lighting. It's like a new trend. It's like a new thing. It actually makes the whole setup like really clean. You don't have those like flashing dots in photography, in the guests' eyes and everything. But that's really what took me the longest. But yeah, I was done by, I want to say 1:30, and I went home luckily. And I would recommend this if you're not too far away.
Yeah, of course.
From the venue.
You're like
but
20 minutes.
I was like 15, 20 minutes away from the venue. And so I went home and I relaxed. I hung out with my dog. I watched some college football.
Ate a little.
Had a lunch. I was good. I got to relax for a minute, and then I was like, all right, I'm get changed at the house.
Yeah.
And then go.
And then still take your athleisure when you leave the house.
It's so funny because after every wedding, like during the last dance.
I know your bag too.
Yeah,
I'm like, here's your clothes.
Yep. I grab my clothes, and usually if they're doing like a last dance alone, I'll press it. Everybody's getting ready out front. Last dance alone. And then I bolt to the restroom, or if there's like a locker room area or something, I'll go in there, I'll change, and I'll come out, and they're like, wait, what? The guests will come back, they'll just all see me in my athleisure. Like, wow, you're
He's like Superman.
Yeah.
He needs a phone booth.
What?
You need a phone booth.
A phone? Oh yeah. No, but I mean business.
Yeah. Like
I ain't trying to stay there long.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to get my nice clothes dirty.
No, and that just makes good sense. So brush up on your attire for season as well. You've got maybe another week.
Get some branded clothing.
Right.
Because again, that kind of builds more credibility for your name, for your company.
And there's so many options out there and so many companies that can help you do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
He's beating up the gnat.
It won't leave me alone.
Oh, it's because you're sweet.
Yes.
You like sugar.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think this podcast definitely was all for, vendors getting ready for season. Hopefully you found something that was beneficial and helpful, something you maybe didn't think of, especially self-care, that kind of thing as well. Family vacations, plan all that stuff, get it all planned out, and then be good to yourself and don't book yourself further than what you can do. Don't overload yourself. And if you're just starting out, be kind to yourself. Not everything's going to be perfect. If
Be
it's your
kind.
first season.
Rewind.
Blockbuster. But yeah, if it's like your first season and say you're just branching out for your first time, glom onto other people and ask them like how you do this and how you do that. Listen, learn all the things, because I can tell you my first season as a wedding planner, oh my gosh, I look back and I think, why did people trust me? Like, oh my gosh, like I painted a good vision. That's
How
for
far
sure.
we've come, Brandy.
Right? And so give yourself some grace during that season if you're just getting started. And if you can't do all the things that we said, as far as like branding and things of that nature, figure out what you can do and take a little bit from every wedding or every event that you do and set it aside until you reach the goal of what you need to be able to, get better business cards or get better equipment and things like that. Because I know starting out, you don't always have everything or have the funds to do everything. So, just pace yourself, give yourself a little credit, give yourself some grace, and just network as well. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come to Swell. Do that.
Swell. Yeah.
You can come as a guest first. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can come as a guest to some other vendors before you join. But then I do recommend, he's getting ready to cap it though. So new members, he's getting ready to, I think we're almost at 200. He's getting ready to cap the membership.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then we're going to have Jordan on in a few weeks.
Yeah, when? When is it?
I think he said
sick?
something about the 16th. Yeah, he wasn't feeling well. So 16th or something of that nature. I have to look and see. But we'll have him on and he can talk about, being a vendor and what that looks like. And
we'll have to bring some
marketing.
of our previous guests back on, like Jamal and Carolina.
Lucy and Abby when they have their baby.
Oh.
Did you know?
No.
They're having a baby.
They're preggo?
Yes, Lucy's preggo.
Yay.
Yeah, and it's a little girl.
Okay.
And I think she's due first of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
They've kept it under wraps for a while, and then they did a picture. I literally bawled my eyes out.
Aw.
It was so cute.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lucy and Abby, if you guys don't know, they were on our podcast a few months ago as a couple that had us do all their wedding stuff for them. So it was kind of a testimonial from a real live couple. And they're having their first baby.
Yay.
So congratulations to them.
Yep. And speaking of doing, weddings together, we've actually the last couple of weeks, except for this weekend,
Oh, yeah.
we had a couple of weddings
Yeah.
that we've done together. And we did a quinceañera.
And that quince was done right. Let me just say.
Well, it was done right, but they missed the mark on a few things.
Okay. Tell me what you thought.
They didn't have a planner.
Oh, yeah, that part.
They missed the mark on that. And guess what?
Mom
Guess who was
the
there?
planner.
Mom was the planner. And guess who was there to save the day? Brandy. Look at that. You and I both. Like,
we did.
We were just
move
like,
the table,
we were like,
count the candles.
but we were like, just like motioning to each other, like in sign language
sync,
and saying, hey, this needs to happen. And again,
opening the door for them on their entrances.
The parents obviously had somewhat of an idea of
how a
the
quince is supposed to
timeline,
go. Yeah.
but they didn't have actually planners doing anything. They had 0 planners.
Yeah.
So luckily it was myself, it was DJ Lewis, which by the way, Buddy was like, oh yeah, you're saying my name wrong.
It's Luis.
No, it's Lewis.
Oh,
I
thought he told me Luis.
No, I told you Luis. I've been saying Luis this whole time.
It's Luis.
Like I was doing.
That's so not Spanish.
I know. He's like, so I was
mean,
like, yeah, I was doing a marketing video with him, and I was like, all right, yeah, just say like, hey, I'm DJ Luis, and welcome to TLS Entertainment. And so he says, hey guys, I'm DJ Lewis, and welcome to TLS Entertainment. I'm like, wait a minute, this entire time you've just allowed me
to mispronounce your name.
To just mess up your name, and you weren't going to say anything. He's like,
maybe he thought you were trying to put a little Spanish flair on it, and was like, yeah, I'll let him have it.
Anyway, so DJ Lewis was.
Sounds so weird.
I know. DJ Speedy
you,
Jr. That's his DJ name.
That. Speedy Jr.
He actually, and thank you to Lewis too, because he kind of, I've done a few quinces here and there, but he's done a ton of them, and he knows the process. So he really just kind of like ran it through.
Bilingual.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That helps.
And so really that gave us the opportunity to I kind of was like the assistant. I was like the manager in a sense. Like, okay, so he's running the show. I've got the back end. You were running the photo booth, but you were also helping me with
moving tables,
like moving
and
things
setting up
and
candles
making
and
sure.
hoping they didn't fall down and burn the place.
Holy cow! Yeah.
Yeah, made me anxious.
But that whole process, after that night, we were both like, you know what, we definitely need to team up together.
Yes.
So new things coming.
Yes.
New collabs coming, and
after lunch tomorrow.
After lunch tomorrow, we'll let you know what happens
on the next podcast.
On the next, of the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. So,
what number is this?
I have no idea. 33?
I don't know.
33, 34, something like that.
Something like that.
But it's a short one. Usually
it's
we go about
1 year.
We're coming up on 1 year of actually like taping these.
Yeah.
But we launched them, I think, in November.
Yep.
But yeah, 30. Yeah, we're in the 30s. And yeah, we appreciate you all, listening to us, sticking around, watching us. Again, you can find us. Yeah, you can find us. You can listen to us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you can listen to us.
Are we on Pandora?
No,
Pandora doesn't do.
I don't know. We're not on Pandora though.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then if you want to watch us, you can just go on YouTube and look up TLS Entertainment.
See what we look like.
And then you can see. Hi.
Hello. Are we what you envisioned?
or just look up The Scoop Weddings Unveiled. You'll find all of our videos on there.
Yeah.
You can also find us on Instagram, The Scoop Weddings Unveiled, Facebook, The Scoop Weddings Unveiled. If you have not gotten The Scoop Weddings Unveiled in your brain yet, you do now.
It's called The Scoop Weddings Unveiled.
And once again, this is The Scoop Weddings Unveiled. I am Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment, your premier DJ, with the beautiful, wonderful Brandy Harlan, our non-retired wedding planner. It's been a pleasure. This has been awesome. Short, sweet, to the point.
Peace and chicken grease.
Holla.